Some of you might be wondering what these so-called premium units are and what's so special about them, and most importantly, are they pay to win? If you've been following the talks that have been going around Total War Arena, the accusations of pay to win has always been around for various reasons. Some I kind of agree with, some of them don't. But today we're going to take a look at all the premium units and what makes them special. These units are only available to people who have paid gold, which is a premium currency for them. And just a quick disclaimer when it comes to these. This is from a public test server. I haven't bought this with real money. I don't have that kind of cash. Premium units, they're all better than the unequipped versions of the units in the same tier, but they're always inferior to fully equipped. And they're most oftentimes like there's a distinct weakness to them compared to the units in the same tier. Sometimes they have unique abilities. That's what we're going to be focusing on, and sometimes they are allow you to access a unit type early. They can give you a unit type that is not accessible to that faction, and that's what we are going to be taking a look at today, starting with Rome. So they all have the same consumables as well, but we'll see that as well. So the first unit we'll be looking at is Auxillary Cavalry. This is a tier 4 cavalry, allows you to access the cavalry one tier early. What's special about this cavalry is not only does it allow you to access it early, but it is a shock cavalry. See, it's carrying a spear. It is still sturdier than the Greek cavalry, so you're able to do more damage in melee, but its main focus is charge, and I suggest you get the war steeds consumable, my bad. So it's got its own cavalry charge, but it also has the unique ability Mount Kick. Can do tremendous damage if you position yourself right. So use it, test it, love it. Well, that's not how it goes, but you know, that's what I had in mind. Next up, we've got Retentus. And part of the disclaimer, what's special about these units, as you can see, their maintenance cost is free, making them great for farming silver. But not just that, they're free XP. They get 50% more free XP and 50% more unit XP. Later on, we're going to be talking about power leveling, the fastest way to level up your generals and units in general, but not the cheapest way, and it's going to be utilizing the premium units and this specific bonus. This goes with all the premium units, so not only do not cost maintenance, they also give you 50% more silver. So next unit is the the medium infantry, big correction, of Retentus. Retentus have the special ability of Parry and Roma Invicta. Roma Invicta gives you 5% melee attack, 5% melee defense, and 10% and 10 morale. Not percent, it gives you morale. It's got cooldown of 45 seconds and lasts 15 seconds. So if you've got 3 units, you will be able to cycle this permanently, but I suggest for power leveling purposes, take 2 of these and then a standard unit you would like to level. And then parry, 40% melee defense in the first phase, and then the 50% slow. Pretty straightforward. As I said, these units have some unique abilities that the other ones don't. In the same tier, we've got Stab in the same standard infantry, which just does direct damage for the Principes. Now, tier 6 is a unique unit. It's a light infantry. Light infantry does not get melee attack and melee defense debuffs in the woods, whether it's light or heavy. So you can use it for ambush, you can combine it with Germanicus. These guys, because of that, I believe, they do not have any too special abilities. They've got the Vicious Strikes, which increase your melee weapon damage by 10%, which is kind of not much, for 16 seconds. So it's pretty okay. If you'd like to focus on tier 5s and tier 6, I suggest you get these. They're very fun for grinding. But most importantly, we're gonna see my favorite one, which is coming soon. Next up, we've got the only archers that Rome has access to. These are Auxillary Sagittari. They have focus fire, rapid shot, infantry caltrops. in addition to the... Wait. Do they have that in addition to their thing? Yeah. Wow. It appears that Auxillary Sagittari, in the public test server at least, have 2 extra charges of caltrops. So you can buy caltrops, and you will have access to 2 more charges. I think that's a bit of an overkill, because 2 most oftentimes enough. I main Javelin Caesar, so I never had any problems with 2 charge caltrops. Maybe once in a while, but that's in a very long battle. So yeah, that one is an interesting ability. I do not know if it's gonna stay, but it is quite fun. They've got rapid shot, and they have got focus fire, which is almost mandatory for any skirmishing unit. They will be able to take out javelins, you know, being archers, but they are going to get defeated by archers, especially with equipment of the same tier. Next up, we've got the final Roman premium unit, the Legio IX Hispana. They've got a lot of abilities: Parry, Heavy Pillar, Roma Invicta, Formed Movement, and Reform Automatic. Those are not very important. They've got the exact same consumables as their same tier counterparts, no replenishment cost. The interesting one, Roma Invicta, just like our Retentuses, they'll be able to keep it up, so they have a bit of a support ability. Parry, which increase their melee defense. This is very nice, a very nice unit. I love it in the standard games. If you've seen me around, I most oftentimes use this because on higher tiers you get more rewards. So if you want to power level on a budget, just get these guys, get a high tier unit of your favorite type, and just keep on leveling. Next up, we have the Greek premium units. Same things apply, no maintenance cost. First off, we've got tier 4 Telesillas Argives. They are a spear unit. They have this special ability called the Spear of Ares in comparison to heavy thrust. So the Spear of Ares, it has a knockdown. It does damage and causes knockback and increases your melee weapon damage by 10%, has a cooldown of 20 seconds. Looks like a very nice ability. They have the same consumables as the spears, as you can see right here. The consumables still cost silver. They will still cost silver. And next up, we have got the spears. Now, I do not know how heavy these are, but from what I've seen, spears are light infantry. So these are basically same unit with some slightly different stats. I do not know exactly what the difference are. Let's compare their stats in general. From what I can see, they're basically the same unit. Yeah, they're the same unit. It has a different ability, so let's continue to review. Spartan Hoplites. Their special ability is Heavy Thrust, which is the same ability that the same units have. Hoplite Phalanx, same unit, and special ability Spartan Bond. 15% melee defense and 5% melee attack. That's really good. And it's got cooldown of 30 seconds with the duration of 15 seconds. So that one is... Wow. Is it an area of effect? No. No, it is area of effect! That one is gonna be a lot of fun. So if you like some Greek spears, definitely go for these. In tier 7, we've got Thracian Peltasts. They are the only javelin units accessible to the Greeks. They have focus fire, they have dash, they have raised shields. They basically have the best abilities, with the exception of hurl, that go with the javelins. And their consumables are a little different because they're a unit type that's not accessible. So they've got heavy flaming javelins. You can see the stats right here. Trilobate javelins, Hero of Athens' Council, Bodkin head javelins. So very similar to the archers. And now the last premium unit, tier 8 Myrmidons. I believe that these guys are ancient warriors. I believe they might be, from what I can see, they might be middle, kind of a medium infantry. Let's take a look. I want to see how they look. Just look at this. Yeah, they might be medium, but most likely they're light. Their special ability is Heavy Thrust and Raise Shield. So if you don't have Leonidas' Fight in the Shade, using this you might be able to avoid the archer fire, such as multi-80s. Wink wink, wink wink.
Battle ready.
So in comparison to the Sacred Band, which have special abilities of their own, so they have a special yellow wow and heavy thrust. So keep those in mind. Keep those in mind. So next up, let's take a look at the Barbarians. So first we've got the Swordmen, Bloodsworn. They are a light infantry, have the same consumables as the others as always. They have a throw javelin, frenzy charge, nothing different from what I can see. You can skip them. And the next up we've got the Bastarnae Falxmen. These guys are gonna be your first Falxmen. You're gonna access your first Falxmen the same tier. What they do, they have a they ignore the shield defense. As you can see, they have the melee shield penetration, which ignores enemy shield statistics, making them especially effective against Sula. So keep that in mind. These guys have got piercing blows, so if you want to focus on your light infantry for barbarians, definitely go for these guys on medium tiers. And late, like dead hours, most of the teams drop to tier 5s, so that might be a good idea. Javelin men, youths. These are the only javelins that are accessible to barbarians. Barbarians have their own brand of archers, which we're going to discuss in a future video. They have Hurl, which is a great ability, increases your missile weapon range by 35%, but be careful, reduces your movement speed by 50%. So it's very important, the movement speed reduction, because it will prevent you from dodging enemy archer fire. So they have dash and hurl, so that is really good. This combination is only available, if I remember correctly, on the tier 10 Romans, so that's important. They have this consumables, very similar to their archer counterpart, but they have this hunt, which could be very interesting. They've got increased range and movement speed. I believe the archers have that as well. Yes, they do. Let's see. The Barbarian Premium Cavalry, I believe these are the Barbarian Heavy Cavalries, if I am not mistaken. They have Cavalry Charge, they have Cavalry Dash, and Unite, so they have a support ability. They're a pretty good unit. I've been seeing them around. They've got a very good charge, very decent melee stats. Berserkers, I have been told these guys are medium infantry. I'm yet to confirm it. I haven't played with them myself. But let's take a look at their abilities regardless. Their stats, very good. They've got a lot of offensive stats. I was checking this earlier. Charge impact 286, melee attack 109. So that's pretty decent. Charge deflect of 226. Reckless charge. Harass, so they've got 2 charges. That one's going to be pretty big. And they have a hamstring, even though they're wielding swords. Hamstring is an ability that is mostly associated with Falxmen, as you might have seen in our Robert Ockridge's video with Boudica. We talk about them briefly. They have the same consumables, higher tiers of course. So if you like to play the light infantry, definitely, if you like to grind with these guys, definitely go for this, because on high tiers, if they do the same thing as they did with other wargaming titles, you're gonna be losing silver and will require to replenish. Now let's take a look at the tier 5, at the Carthage premium units. So I do not have Saurus, because that one is a unit I believe was either removed from here, or it's only purchasable with that specific pack. So Saurus allows you to get tier 5 elephants 1 tier ahead of the rest. Also the druids are only available if you purchase them directly. They are a light infantry, I believe, have got some special abilities, so you will need to check them in the shop. So tier 4 Carthaginian premiums, they have a Spear of Ares, just like their Greek counterparts. Carthaginian Phalanx, very similar to Greek, but this one reduces your melee defense, so be careful. They have formed combat, similar, same consumables as the rest. Yeah, they have the same consumables. All premium units have the same consumables as their other counterparts. So they have, this unit has the slash ability, which is similar to the stab ability. It's a direct damage. This one is the, tier 6. And they have defensive testudo. Any other defensive testudo is an old ability. And what it does is it stops you dead in your tracks, but gives you tremendous amounts of missile block chance. However, from the looks of it, it is not 100%. So I see that 40% missile block chance combined with 40. That one is 80. So it is not a perfect testudo that Germanicus used to have. But it's still something. It's very good. These guys are kind of Roman-style infantry, so if you want to be kind of like a quasi-Roman, go ahead. And then we have the tier 7 elephant, a counterpart to the armored elephant. So Melqart, immune to flank attacks, unaffected by phalanx knockback. Gore, he has the Gore ability, which let's see if the elephant does have. No, Gore, he doesn't have the Gore ability. So let's see what Gore does. It increases your melee weapon damage with 40%. What? Are you kidding me? Strike enemies immediately in front of elephant, increase damage, and always send them knock flying. So it's a second stump that also has 40% of melee weapon damage and 40% melee weapon penetration damage, which ignores armor, by the way. Wow. Stampede and Stomp, this is wow. Trampling movement, so it has the same abilities except it has the Gore. I don't think it's pay to win, but that's a pretty good unit. And these are the Hamilcar's veterans. They have a throw javelin ability. They are a spear, are they? Yeah, no, they're a sword unit. From the looks of it, they're a heavy sword. They have the formed combat and the vicious strikes ability. They have the same ability as the other swordmen that the Carthage has. And I believe this covers everything. Hopefully we'll see you next time. I'm sorry that the video has taken a little long, but this covers all of the premium units that are available in the public test server. What do you guys think? If I skipped anything, let me know, and maybe I will have a video that covers what we have skipped. So definitely leave a comment, like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time.